Singularity is a future period in which technological change will be so rapid and its impact so profound that every aspect of human life will be irreversibly transformed.
There won't be a clear distinction between humans and machines.
Our computers are not going to be these rectangular devices we put in our pocket. They're going to be inside our bodies and brains, and we're going to be a hybrid of biological and non-biological intelligence. If you go back 500 years, not much happened in a century. Now a lot happens in 6 months. Technology feeds on itself and it gets faster and faster. In about 40 years, the pace of change is going to be so astonishingly quick that you won't be able to follow it unless you enhance your own intelligence by merging with the intelligent technology we're creating. So that's such a profound transformation that we've borrowed this metaphor from physics and call that a singularity. Today than it did 5 years ago. Acceleration of technology is the implication of what I call the law of accelerating returns. The nature of technological progress is exponential. If I count linearly 30 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I get to 30. If I count exponentially, 2, 4, 8, 16, 30 steps later, I'm at 1 billion. It makes a dramatic difference. About 40 years ago, Gordon Moore saw that there was exponential growth in the power of semiconductors, of chips. Basically, every 2 years, we can put twice as many components on a chip. And because they're closer together, they run faster. And so computers get twice as capable overall for the same price every year. We'll make another billion-fold increase in price performance in the next 25 years. And again, shrink the size of these technologies 100,000-fold. So we went from a building to something that fits in your pocket in 40 years. In the next 25 years, we'll go from something that fits in your pocket to something that's the size of a blood cell. The reason that information technology grows exponentially is that we use the latest technology to create the next. So each new generation of technology grows exponentially in capability, and the speed of that process accelerates over time. This is true in general of an evolutionary process. In fact, even biological evolution, long before even humans evolved, shows the same phenomenon. The very first paradigm of biological evolution was the evolution of DNA. That took 1 billion years, but then evolution adopted it, and it's used it ever since. So the next stage, the Cambrian explosion, when all the body plans of the animals evolved, went 100 times faster. Only took 10 million years. After a few more steps, Homo sapiens, the first technology-creating species, evolved. Not only took a few 100,000 years. Evolution then shifted from biological evolution to technological evolution. It took tens of thousands of years to evolve stone tools, fire, the wheel. And then we always use the latest technology to create the next technology. So the whole pace of technology has accelerated. Major paradigm shifts like search engines evolved in just 5 or 6 years. And the reason we get to a singularity, a point of astonishingly quick change, is because it's going to go into very fast gear over the next several decades. When people have never heard of ideas along these lines and they hear about it for the first time and they have some superficial reaction, I really see myself, some decades ago and realize it's a long path to actually get comfortable with where the future is headed.
The singularity is the point at which machine intelligence begins to amend itself, improve itself.
Machine intelligence improves until we get to a point where, it assumes control.
I think the biggest implications of the singularity are that we don't know the implications of the singularity.
The word singularity is a mathematical word. Singularity is sort of where the model breaks down.
As in the center of a black hole, there's said to be a singularity in physics. It's a tear in the fabric of space-time. Things just change suddenly. There's no more smooth transition.
It's going to be interesting to see if we can get through the next 10 or 20 years.
When and if we reach a place where machines are more capable of doing things that we call thinking, the consequences of that as to who's running the world and which way will it be taken and how will we relate to it is hard to really understand.
I guess I'm best known for the concept of the so-called Artellect War. The Artellect, that's two words joined together, artificial intellect, so Artellect, these machines might, for whatever reason, wipe out humanity. There's always that risk. Consider the analogy of the way we, as human beings, we look towards ants or mosquitoes as pests, you know. We kill them and we don't give a damn because we feel we're so superior to them. They are so inferior to us. So who's to say that an Artellect, which then becomes trillions of times above human capacities, may look upon us in the same kind of way? We could never be sure. I'm predicting that there will be a major war late 21st century between two human groups. So one group, they will argue that the only way to ensure that the risk is zero is that they're never built in the first place. But the second group, for them it'll be almost like a religion to build these things because they'd be godlike. So you've got here the source of a bitter conflict between these two human groups. Then with late 21st century weapons, you're talking about a major war that will kill not millions of people, but billions. As a brain builder myself, am I prepared to risk the extinction of the human species for the sake of building an Artellect? Because that's what it comes down to. Yep,